I came home from a late install, kicked off my boots in the mudroom, and my house smelled like roasted chicken and lemon. The table was set. Soft lights, jazz from her little speaker. Lauren waved a spatula like a game show host. "Look who finally decided to eat," she said. "Hands. Washed. Now. You trying to impress a health inspector?" I hung my jacket, checked the counter. Everything lined up. Salad in glass bowls, bread in a basket with a towel. Too perfect. It's called care. She kissed my cheek, quick and practiced. "Sit." I kept it warm. I dropped into the chair. "Looks like you won bank on a Pinterest lottery." She laughed like I was charming. "Or maybe I love you and know you forget to eat." I watched her move, quiet, efficient, cheerful. She'd always been like that. But lately her cheer had a glaze on it, like a donut you don't trust. She floated the plate down. "You're spoiling me," I said. "I should." She poured sparkling water. No wine. She was on a clean week. When we ate, I tried again. "I was thinking of joining you at the gym. 3 nights a week. Ease in, not embarrass myself." Her fork paused, then clinked once on the plate. "Babe, I don't want to be washed while I sweat. It's my quiet place. I'll stay on the far end. Headphones. You won't even know I'm there." She smiled, soft and apologetic. "I'm shy about form. It's weird with you there." "Please." "Shy? With me?" I half grinned. "I've seen you try to fix the garbage disposal with salad tongs. Pride died a long time ago." She flicked a napkin at me. "I'm serious." Then back to upbeat. "I'll help you build a routine at home. Push-ups, bands, all that. Sounds like solitary confinement." I tried to keep it light. Gym together sounded fun. "It's not a couple activity for me," she said. Bright tone, final note. "Don't take it personal." If I'd known where it was headed, I wouldn't have pushed. Or maybe I would have pushed twice. The next morning she was already in leggings, lacing shoes, ponytail high. She kissed my forehead while I poured coffee. "I'll be back at 10, she said. "You good?" "I'm always good," I told her. "I just don't like being excluded from cardio religion." "It's not exclusion. It's boundaries," she said, laughing like it was cute. "Bye, coach." The door shut. The house went quiet. I stood there with coffee I didn't want and a thought I didn't like. A woman who loves you doesn't hide her workouts from you like a secret club. Or maybe she does, if the club has a bouncer. I put the mug down and made my first adjustment. I stopped trying to overlap schedules. I told my crew I'd pick up early shift installs, cut my home evenings to 2 set nights. "I'm not waiting around for unlocked time," I told my foreman, Eric. "Put me where you need me." "You and Lauren okay?" Eric asked. "We're fine," I said. "I'm done chasing fog." That night, when Lauren came back glowing and chatty, I didn't ask about reps or routines. I checked the garage freezer, took inventory, and posted 2 bill payments that had been sitting on the hall table. She came in mid-click. "You on the laptop again?" "It's dinner, not tax season." "Bills," I said. "I'm separating autopay. I'll cover the mortgage, utilities, my truck, our insurance. Your personal stuff's on your card." She blinked. "Since when?" "Since now," I said, still calm. "Budget's cleaner this way. Less gray." "That sounds cold." "Sounds adult." She stood a second too long, then softened. "You're right. I've been a little scattered. Thank you for keeping us on track." She slid arms around my neck. "I appreciate you." It read right, but something in the script got sticky in my head. On Saturday, we were at my friend Nate's backyard for his kid's birthday. Paper plates, juice boxes, folding chairs, America. Lauren rolled up with a gym bag in the trunk. She was headed after cake. Nate slapped my shoulder. "You two are disgustingly functional." "We try," I said. Lauren heard us and chimed in. "I keep him from living on takeout and socket wrenches." "Hey," I said, half smile. "Socket wrenches keep roofs on." She smirked. "They don't keep shirts buttoned." Nate chuckled. "Heard that. You going to the gym with her yet?" "She prefers solitude," I said. "Oh." Nate raised an eyebrow. Lauren sipped sparkling water. "He makes me self-conscious. He stares." "I don't stare," I said. "You count reps out loud like an old coach," she threw in, light tone, a dig wrapped in a joke. 2 moms nearby laughed. My jaw didn't move. "I haven't been to your gym with you, Lauren," I answered flat. Figure of speech. She waved it off, then patted my chest. "He's harmless." Nate looked between us. "He's not bright enough to hide it." "Well, cheers to harmless." I set my plastic cup down. I turned to the small group. Quick note, friends. My time is not a joke. I don't come to people's homes to get labeled like a puppy. I said it plain, no heat. Then to Lauren, just for us. If you have feedback, bring it to me. Not them. She blinked, then smiled like I'd done a magic trick. Oh, big man speech. Boundary, I said. Put a bow on it. She kept the smile, a thought flickering behind it. 10 minutes later, when we walked to the car, she touched my arm. I didn't mean anything. I know what you meant, I said. I drew the line. She slid into the seat. You made it a whole thing. In front of people. You did, I answered. I finished it. She stared out the window, then softened again, classic pivot. You're right. I was careless. I'll watch it. Then, as if a prize. You want brunch tomorrow? My treat. Sure, I said. Sunday she made pancakes, brought coffee to bed, wore my t-shirt around the kitchen like a sitcom wife from a channel nobody watches. I accepted it with a smirk and a raised brow. Nice move. Noted. The next 2 weeks turned into the same routine. Gym every evening, boundaries, then sweet gestures when I set rules. Each time I responded by changing one more thing that mattered to me, not to her. I started locking my office door. I stopped texting during her gym block. I quit waiting for her to settle on dinner. I ate when I was hungry, alone if needed. It wasn't punishment. It was structure. She started cracking jokes to reclaim the room. At a small get-together with neighbors, she laughed about how I used to be lost with laundry and how she'd trained me. The group smiled to be polite. I looked at her. Stop making me your project in public, I told her. I'm not a story you tell to look clever. She put a hand on my wrist. Relax, hero, it's called humor. It's called status, I replied. I won't be your prop. After that, the joke stopped. The gym time increased. My travel came up at work. I handled commercial installs. We had a data center job in Missouri. 2 weeks, maybe less. I told Lauren at the kitchen island. I fly out Thursday. Back the following week if it goes smooth. 2 weeks. Her eyes flicked left and right, calculating. Then she smiled too quickly. Wow, that's big for you. Are you excited? Not really, I said. I like our bed. She laughed, then caught herself, then smiled bigger. You'll do great. The house is fine with me. I didn't say the house wasn't fine. I mean, I've got it, she added, almost eager. You won't need to worry. I'll get ahead on closets. Maybe paint the guest room if I feel brave. Don't, I said. Leave the paint. Bossy, she teased, but her energy was a notch brighter than news warranted. That night, she came home lit up from the gym and started folding laundry next to me on the couch. Want me to pack your socks? She asked. I can find them. She tucked a pair in my suitcase anyway. Let me do something. You could let me come with you to the gym, I said. She rolled her eyes, friendly on the surface, bored underneath. Still on that. I'm not on it. I remember it. You're leaving Thursday. Let me have this. She kissed my cheek, held longer than usual. I let it happen, watched her eyes when she pulled away. She smiled like a nurse. Wednesday, night before my flight, I set my own rules. I moved our house account into 2 sub-accounts. Mortgage and utilities draw in one, her allowance into another. I printed my itinerary, left a copy on the fridge, plain and uninteresting. I put the spare key that lived on the grill side table into my pocket and didn't put it back. I walked next door to check on my neighbor, Jenna, a smart-mouthed nurse who'd joked for years that our cul-de-sac gave her more material than the hospital. You need me to watch the house? She asked. I'm great with plants and nosy old ladies. Water the rosemary. Ignore the old ladies. If something looks off, text me, I said. So normal, she said. I left it there. At the airport, Lauren called. Send a selfie. I sent a photo, straight face, luggage behind me. She sent back a heart and a bicep emoji like a teenager. I laughed alone. We were installing racks by noon the next day. The only part of travel I like is work. It's honest. Cables don't lie. Friday around 9, my phone buzzed. Jenna. Not my business. Maybe I shouldn't say anything. But a big, jacked guy went into your place yesterday. He hasn't left. I stared at the text. It didn't shake me. It just made things stop moving. I typed, then erased it, then typed again. Thanks for telling me. Could be a contractor? Then another. Also, could you grab a couple photos? Through glass. If it's safe. She replied fast. James Bond. I'm in. I kept working. 30 minutes later, 3 photos popped up. My living room. My couch. Lauren curled into a man I'd seen once at her gym when I'd brought her water. He was comfortable like he paid the mortgage. Her hand across his chest. His shoes by the coffee table. A plate with crumbs next to them. I stood in the server room and breathed. Not fury. Calculation. Jenna pinged again. Almost got noticed. Would have been a mess. Not the time, but you owe me dinner. I typed without thinking. I'll kiss you when I get back. You saved me. She responded with a laughing face and a knife fork emoji. I put the phone face down. The cables stared back, patient. I called someone I trusted, Tom, a lawyer who'd helped me with a contractor dispute years ago. I need papers, I said. Clean, fast, all in order. I'll send you what you need. Send me the pictures, full names, the house info, he said. We can start now. You'll need to sign in person at the end. I'm back in a week and a half. That works, he said. Keep your head. Handle your job. I did my job like nothing happened, because nothing happened that changed my work. Nights, the phone kept buzzing. Jenna sent updates with short captions. They're grilling out back. He's wearing your apron. I'm not kidding. She sent a photo from her upstairs window. 2 figures at my grill. A t-shirt I'd left on the back hook. Smoke, a beer bottle on the rail. I felt something like amusement at the audacity. I typed to Jenna. You're a menace. Keep a low profile. She replied, I'm a professional menace. And I can't hear her laughing loud on purpose. The next morning, they took a run together. He swatted at your rosemary because a bee bothered him. I hissed at him through the glass. Kidding. But I wanted to. I thanked her with an absurd promise about a steakhouse when I got back. She demanded only a good story and a night off her feet. I worked, ate, slept. Tom kept me updated. The documents would be ready when I landed. He needed my signature to finalize what could be finalized without drama. Tuesday night, Jenna again. He carried a bag in through your front door. She didn't look left or right. Bold. I wrote, you're doing more than you signed up for. She, I like you less clueless. Consider it neighborhood maintenance. Thursday, when I finally sat alone in my hotel and the room's AC clicked like a metronome, Lauren called. Happy bright. Hey, traveler. How's Missouri? Cables everywhere, I said. You good? So good, she chirped. I've been sleeping on your side to pretend you're here. Stupid, right? Adorable, I said, voice flat enough she should have felt the floor tilt. Don't be grumpy. I made a roast. I'll freeze you a portion. Thoughtful, I said. I have an early call. Get some rest. I miss you, she added soft. I said. Bye. I hung up and stared at the ceiling. Illusion of change number 2. Extra sweetness when she sensed guardrails. It didn't change my next step. I pulled up the airline app and confirmed my Saturday morning flight. I texted Tom my ETA. I told Jenna, landing Saturday, barbecue braggarts better be gone. She wrote, copy. I'll have popcorn just in case. Saturday, I landed, shook Tom's hand in his small office, and signed. He explained timelines and mailed copies. I didn't need the lecture. I needed paper. He handed me the folder. It's straightforward, he said. You kept your accounts clean. The property is titled in a way that helps you. Good, I said. I'm going home. On the drive, I felt more awake than I had in months. There's a peace in choosing. I pulled into our street mid-afternoon. Jenna was on her porch with a coffee mug. She stood when she saw my truck and lifted it like a toast. I nodded once, then parked in my own driveway. Lauren opened the door before I reached it. She wore jeans and a soft sweater, barefoot, hair curled like Sundays. You're early, she sang, arms open. Surprise me, why don't you? Where is he? I asked. No hello. She blinked. Who? The guy from your gym? I said. He can come out the back if he's shy. Her face didn't twitch. You sound crazy. I held up my phone. Do I? She tilted her head like a therapist. What are you even talking about? You've been gone. Are you okay? I walked past her into my living room. The couch cushions were fluffed too high. The throw blankets were folded military neat. The coffee table had a faint water ring I didn't leave. I set my bag down and put the folder on the table. This is me, okay? She moved toward me, soft voice. You're tired. You're looking for drama because the road is lonely. Stop. I slid the top photo onto the table. Her curled into him. Her hand across his chest. Her face visible, peaceful. She stared at the paper, then at me. Then she snorted a small laugh. So Jenna actually told you. Her lips curved. I was wondering who'd play spy. She did, I said. She wins dinner. Unbelievable, she said, shaking her head, not at herself. How bored do you have to be? Bold question, I said. What do you think happens now? She lifted her chin. We stopped being dramatic. You stopped trying to control my gym time. You came back. I'm here. Move on. Move on, I repeated. That your pitch? What are you going to do? She smiled, cool and confident. Leave? You're not leaving me. Don't be ridiculous. I took the folder, pulled the papers out, and set them in front of her. Laugh first if you need to, I told her. When you're done, collect your things. You're not staying. Her smile froze, then dissolved. You talked to someone. I did, I said. Started while I was watching you test the smoke alarm on my grill. That's not fair, she said fast. Correct, I said. Fair is dead. There's only respect. She stared at the papers like they were a prank. You can't expect me to just go. I don't expect anything from you, I said. I'm telling you the new rules. You have 2 hours. Call a ride. She folded her arms. You'll regret this. I regret only ignoring the small signs, I answered. 2 hours. She tried softer. I made a roast. I kept the house. I've taken care of you. You used the house like a hotel, I said. And yes, you made meals. I can make meals. I don't keep men upstairs afterwards. You don't know what you think you know. Then sue me for slander on the sidewalk, I said. 2 hours. She stepped closer, trying another angle. We have history. I have standards, I said. She glanced toward the hallway, measuring something. You'd really throw me out. No throwing, I said. You walk. With your things. I picked up her gym bag and set it on the chair like a visual aid. That's a start. She laughed once, hard, old mask on. You're not that guy. I am now, I said. A minute of stare down, then she spun toward the bedroom. Drawers opened, closed. Hanger scraped. I took the chance to step onto the porch. Jenna stood at her low fence, arms folded. Do I need popcorn or pepper spray? She asked. Neither, I told her. Just a timer. How long? An hour and 54 minutes, I said. She grinned like she'd been waiting for a joke all week. Copy. Want me to borrow a dolly from Mike for her boxes? I'm feeling helpful. Let her carry things, I said. It's good for the arms. Lauren came to the door with a suitcase and a bag. She looked past me at Jenna like we were co-conspirators. You happy? She snapped. Jenna sipped her coffee. I'm very into neighborhood cleanliness. Lauren turned back to me. I was bored, she said suddenly. It wasn't an excuse, it was a flex. You work too much. You're predictable. I needed something lively. And you needed me to fund it, I answered. You picked convenience over courage. Now pick a ride. She rolled the suitcase down the steps. Halfway to the curb, she shot back. Don't get attached to this house. You'll see me again. If you're delivering a package, leave it on the porch, I said. Otherwise, keep walking. She left. No tears. No apology. Just high chin and a phone pressed to her ear. I stood there while the street reset. Jenna exhaled loudly from her side. Clean, she said. A little brutal, but clean. Not nearly brutal, I said. Just precise. You okay? She asked. I'm precise, I said. Which is the head I need right now. I went inside, grabbed a garment bag, and changed in the bedroom. Suit. White shirt. Shoes that clicked. I looked like a man going to a promotion dinner. Which, in a way, I was. Promotion out of nonsense. I knocked on Jenna's door 10 minutes later. She opened, hair in a messy bun, leggings, oversized sweatshirt, eyes going wide. Oh, she said, looking me up and down. Did I miss a gala? You're not dressed, I told her. We have dinner. Or did you forget? Her mouth parted, then curled. You're serious. Book a table or trust me? I asked. I've been nosy all week. You pick, she said, then stepped aside. Give me 15. I waited in her small living room that smelled like laundry and cinnamon. She reappeared in a simple dark dress, flats, earrings, a touch of confidence she didn't bother hiding. Well, she said, do I get a compliment or a shrug? You look like trouble I can explain to my mother, I said. Let's go. We drove to a place with white tablecloths, but no piano, the kind of place you bring someone when you mean it. The hostess glanced at my suit and forgot to ask for a reservation. We sat. Water arrived. Jenna leaned in. Before we start, Are you sure you want to be out? No decompression needed. I decompress by moving forward, I said. She nodded. I respect that. We ordered food we could put forks into without thinking. The rhythm came easy. So, she said, when did you know? Week before I left, I said. Not the first hint, but the first time I stopped pretending. I didn't want to be the neighbor who ruins marriages, she said. Kind of cliché. You didn't ruin anything, I said. You turned on the light. Whatever moved in the dark was already there. She tapped her glass with a nail. You're not angry? Oh, I'm angry, I said. But anger makes me sloppy. I prefer outcomes. That was an outcome, she agreed. We ate. We traded the usual basics. Work stories, family gloss, guilt about how much TV we pretend not to watch. In between, my phone lit up once. Unknown number. I turned it face down without breaking a sentence. Jenna watched me do it. Good, she said. At the end, she sat back. I said dinner would be enough for now. But that was before the suit. So dinner isn't enough now, I guessed. It's enough, she said, slow smile. It's just not the end. You want a second date in writing? I asked. I want you to say out loud that this isn't rebound theater, she said. I like you, but I won't be a plank you walk on to get to shore. You're the shore, I said. The plank was paperwork. She shook her head, laughing. Cheesy, but acceptable. I drove her home. On her porch, she looked at me. I said dinner was enough to start, she said. And this is only the start, right? Of course, I answered. It's only the start. We didn't run inside like teenagers. We said goodnight like adults. I walked back to my house, took the trash to the curb even though it wasn't full, and slept alone with the windows cracked. The night air was honest. The week after, I finished what I started. I changed the codes on the smart locks and set the camera notifications to ping my phone and Jenna's in case I missed something on a ladder. I told Tom to file and send whatever needed sending. I called Lauren's mother, a blunt woman who'd always liked me until liking me required work. I wanted you to hear it from me, I said. We're done. It's final as far as my end goes. She can pick up a few boxes Thursday at noon if she schedules with me. Otherwise, they'll be in storage with her name on the unit. Her mother's sigh was long and unhappy. I knew she was playing with fire. She brought a torch, I said. I'm not standing nearby. I'll tell her, she said. Lauren texted twice, performative and slippery. We're overreacting. We can fix this. That house isn't yours alone. I replied once. Noon Thursday or storage. Choose. She chose not to reply. Thursday at 12:10, Jenna and I were in my driveway when a rideshare stopped at the curb. Lauren got out in sunglasses, lips pressed. She took 2 boxes Jenna had helped label and walked them to the trunk. No conversation. No scene. She looked at Jenna once like she'd swallowed a lemon. You'll regret trying to look like a hero, she said to me. I'm not trying, I told her. I'm succeeding. She got in the car and shut the door. It drove away. I checked the time. 12:15. Clean. I kept doing my job, and my life filled in all the places I'd cut thin. I showed up early at the shop and stayed for the nasty jobs nobody wanted, crawl spaces and attics, and fixing the mess the last guy left. I slept, went for runs without announcing it to anyone, and cooked my own dinners in a kitchen that looked like itself again. Jenna and I built a rhythm with no ceremony. Evenings on our porches, lunch in her break at the hospital if I was near, Sunday grocery runs that made us look domestic to strangers. She was funny in a way that didn't require permission. She gave me pushback when I deserved it and silence when I didn't. I liked both. News traveled the neighborhood the way news does, by dogs on leashes and trash cans at the curb. I didn't give a speech. I didn't tell a side. I just lived with my door closed. People can read a closed door better than they pretend. Lauren tried one more tactic a month later. She showed up on a Saturday morning, early, with a bakery box and a look I recognized from 100 social media posts. The performance of a second chance. I opened the door a crack. Jenna stood in my kitchen, visible behind me, pouring coffee. Lauren raised the box. I brought cinnamon rolls. Remember the place you like. I don't do sugar in the morning, I said. You used to, she said, smile pinned in place. Used to isn't now, I said. She angled her head to peek past me. Oh, cute. Do you need something? I asked. I'm here to talk like adults, she answered. You were rash. We can. No, I said. You didn't even let me. No, I repeated. We're not a democracy. We're a concluded project. She stared, then put the box down on the porch railing like an offering to the gods. You'll regret this when you cool off. I cooled off, I said. That's what this is. She made a face like I was rude, then took a breath like she was moving into her final push. I'll see you around, she said. You won't avoid me forever. You will see me, I agreed. At the hardware store, the stop sign, wherever people exist. You won't be in my house, my accounts, or my plans. That's the only difference that matters. She waited for a reaction that didn't come. When she got none, she walked to her car and left for the last time. I picked up the bakery box, handed it to Jenna. These any good? I asked. I'll bring them to the nurse's station, she said. Sugar is their religion. Tom sent me the final paperwork in a thick envelope in early fall. Clean. Tight. Done. No house for her. No extra draws. No entanglements beyond the property she'd already picked up. It wasn't triumph. It was arithmetic. Word got out the way it does in families. Her sister unfollowed me without fanfare. Her cousin sent a one-liner apologizing for everything, which told me exactly how much they now knew. Friends who had laughed at our barbecues texted me versions of man-to-man respect. A few admitted they'd suspected something and kept quiet. I wrote back, you weren't married to me. It wasn't your job. Then I put my phone down and went to work. I took Jenna to a cabin upstate when the leaves started to change. We ate burgers by a lake, read separate books on the same couch, and drove home on small roads because the highway felt like a line I didn't need to stand in. On the drive back, she looked over. You ever going to put a label on us? She asked, half joking, half not. I thought we did the night you made me throw out the chipped plates, I said. That was practical, she said. So is this label, I said. You're my partner. If I propose, it'll be when the new porch is built because I'm not dropping one knee into splinters. You're ridiculous, she said. But her smile kept going even after the road bent. 2 months later, in front of that new porch with soft boards and a railing I measured twice, I asked her. She said yes with a simple obviously. We did it small, with real vows and no champagne fountain. The neighbor kids threw birdseed and stole half the cupcakes. It felt like a home should feel, not perfect, solid. As for Lauren, she moved. She bounced between a sublet and her parents' place 2 counties over, then settled back with them because the rent checks didn't click in the real world. Someone told me she was working nights at a restaurant, not in the front. It fits. That job eats patience and gives back dishwater. The people who used to clink glasses with her in our backyard stopped stopping by her social pages because the algorithm doesn't like slow motion falls. I didn't watch. I didn't need the play-by-play. She had wanted comfort without cost. She lost both. That's the only calculus I cared about. Now, if you ask me what I learned, I'll keep it short. A man can love dinner on the table and candles in the living room and still refuse to be made small. You're not required to lose your dignity to keep your house warm. You set rules. You enforce them. You do it quietly, and you do it once. The last time Lauren popped up, months after it was all done, it was a text with no hello. Miss you. I typed 3 words and didn't send them. I deleted them and sent 2 different ones. Wrong number. I put my phone face down and tightened the bolt on the porch chair that had started to wobble. Jenna came out in a sweatshirt, handed me a socket wrench, and smirked. You and your tools, she said. They keep roofs on, I replied. She leaned on the rail. Dinner at my place. I'm making pasta. Better than roasted chicken? I asked. Depends on who's eating it, she said. Lucky him, I told her. She rolled her eyes and went inside, and I finished the chair, washed my hands, and followed her, not because I was